Philadelphia plane crash, what we know so far, and oh boy, there's a lot to unpack. Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love, home to the Liberty Bell, cheesesteaks, and as of Friday evening, an unexpected airshow no one signed up for. In a plot twist that not even M. Night Shyamalan could concoct, and he's probably kicking himself for not thinking of it first, a Learjet 55 decided to make an unscheduled, fiery pit stop near Roosevelt Mall. Spoiler alert, it didn't stick the landing.
What happened?
Other than the obvious. At approximately 6:06 p.m. local time, a Learjet 55, operated by Jet Rescue Air Ambulance, took off from Northeast Philadelphia Airport, aiming for Springfield-Branson National Airport in Missouri. Now, when we say aiming, we mean that loosely. Less than 40 seconds later, the plane exited the chat with radar, plummeting to Earth at a rate that could best be described as gravity's enthusiastic embrace. Witnesses report the sky lighting up like the 4th of July, minus the hot dogs and general sense of patriotism. The crash site resembled a deleted scene from an apocalyptic movie, complete with a mushroom-shaped fireball, burning debris, and the kind of chaos that makes you question whether you're still in the simulation. The jet managed to damage at least half a dozen homes and several cars because apparently, it was feeling extra.
The victims.
Tragically, none of the 6 individuals on board survived. The aircraft was carrying a young girl, her mother, and 4 crew members. Adding another layer of heartbreak, the child had just completed treatment for a life-threatening condition at Shriners Children's Philadelphia. Because fate, apparently, has a dark sense of humor. 1 person on the ground also perished, and 19 others were transported to area hospitals, presumably after realizing that having a Learjet crash in your neighborhood does wonders for your heart rate, but not in the fun cardio way. The investigation. Who's on it? Enter the FAA and NTSB, the dynamic duo we never really want to see headlining the news. The National Transportation Safety Board will be leading the investigation, which basically means they'll sift through the wreckage, listen to black box recordings, and try to answer the burning question. What in the name of all that is aerodynamically holy happened here? Governor Josh Shapiro wasted no time assembling a squad of 45 state troopers to assist local law enforcement because nothing said unified response like a sea of flashing lights and official-looking people in reflective vests standing around nodding seriously. The conspiracy theories write themselves. Naturally, the internet did what the internet does best, spiraled into a cesspool of conspiracy theories faster than you can say chemtrails. Was it a government cover-up?
Aliens?
A rogue AI experimenting with aviation? Looking at you, ChatGPT. Let's dial it back, people. Sometimes, it's just a tragic accident with a side of mechanical failure or human error. No tinfoil hats required. Presidential musings. Trump weighs in. Because no national tragedy is complete without a word from former President Donald Trump, he took to Truth Social to lament the loss of more innocent souls. His message, presumably typed with the same thumbs that have broken the sound barrier on Twitter, sorry X, read. So sad to see the plane go down in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. More innocent souls lost. Our people are totally engaged. First responders are already being given credit for doing a great job.
More to follow.
God bless you all. Well, thank heavens for that insightful commentary. We were all on the edge of our seats waiting to see if this would finally unite the nation.
Spoiler, it didn't.
Jet Rescue Air Ambulance, the company behind the catastrophe. Jet Rescue Air Ambulance describes itself as Mexico's leading, largest, and most experienced air ambulance service, which is both impressive and, under the current circumstances, slightly ironic. Their fleet includes 10 Learjets and 1 Airbus helicopter, all equipped with cutting-edge medical technology. However, none of that fancy equipment prevents the inconvenient reality that planes are supposed to stay in the air. Company spokesperson Mr. Gold assured the public that the crew was seasoned and underwent rigorous training. Which begs the question, if this was the result of rigorous training, what does an amateur crash look like? The aftermath, Philadelphia responds. Philadelphia Mayor Sherelle L. Parker declared the crash major incident and urged residents to steer clear of the area. Because, you know, nothing ruins a perfectly good Instagram selfie like a smoldering jet engine in the background. Governor Shapiro made the rounds, offering thoughts and prayers, because those are always in high demand after disasters. He praised the city's resilience, stating, "Tonight we saw the best of Philly, neighbor helping neighbor." Which is true, unless you count the neighbors who immediately whipped out their phones to film the carnage for TikTok. The sky is falling.
Again?
As if the Philadelphia crash wasn't enough, it occurred just 2 days after a mid-air collision between a Black Hawk helicopter and an American Airlines passenger plane over Washington, D.C., which claimed 67 lives. Because apparently, the universe decided aviation needed to be the worst-performing sector of 2025. Captain Sully Sullenberger, the hero of the Miracle on the Hudson, reportedly weighed in with expert commentary. One can only assume his advice boiled down to, maybe try not crashing.
What's next?
The investigation will likely take months, filled with jargon-heavy press conferences and grim-faced officials saying things like preliminary findings and cockpit voice recorder analysis. Meanwhile, armchair experts on Reddit will continue speculating wildly, and cable news will squeeze every ounce of sensationalism out of the story until something shinier comes along. Final thoughts, because we have to end this somehow. In the grand tapestry of aviation disasters, the Philadelphia plane crash is both heartbreaking and baffling. A tragic reminder that life is fragile, planes are complex, and sometimes, despite all our technology and training, things go catastrophically wrong. Until the NTSB releases its report, we're left with more questions than answers, a few viral videos, and the nagging suspicion that 2025 isn't off to a great start. But hey, at least we've got our snark to keep us warm.